So what you need to do is start a blank document. Okay. um, if you don't if you're starting something new, then click on blank presentation, or in recents and stuff you will find files that you can pick up from and continue working on. Okay, you can also pin certain documents. Look at this pin sign over here. So if you want them to be permanently available easily, okay, you can pin them by clicking on this button here. Okay, and then it appears in this tab. So this is like a quick access kind of thing. Okay, so let's start a fresh presentation, and we click on blank presentation, and this is what it will look like. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you can choose a design, or you can continue working on a blank presentation like this. Okay, so let's look at this. There's this tab called design, and when you click on it, you get all these kinds of options. Okay, so you have multiple options. Now the options that you will find will be different based on your application. Okay, if you've got the latest Windows, and if you've updated it to the latest Microsoft Office applications, then it will look different. Or if you're using an older format on an older system, okay, your options will look different. So for me, these are the options that I can find. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly pick one of these. Okay, and what I can also do once I've chosen the basic theme is I can choose variations over here. Okay, so I have these 8 variations to choose from. Suppose I want this one, I can click on that. Okay, alternatively, I can also click on colors, and I can customize like this. Okay, so there are presets available. Okay, or I can go to customize, and I can choose the colors like this. Alright, so this is just your aesthetic um, appearance of it. Okay, any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Alright, so now let's go back to home. Okay, the home tab, and this is what the first slide of the presentation will always look like when you first start off. Okay, but suppose you want a different layout, you can click on layout like this, and you can choose. Okay, so if you want this kind of layout, you can do that. Okay, so for basic material where you have a heading and then content under that, this is how you can do it. Or if you want two contents, like 2 columns to your content, you can make it like this. And whatever, if you want a big picture and then material on the side, you have all these options to choose from, right? So let's say I want to create my basic material. I do this, right? So I can type in my heading here. Suppose it's effective writing. All right, and then I can start typing my material over here. Okay, what I can also do is I can remove this heading altogether. So I click on it and hit delete, it goes away. Then I double click it again, and I can completely remove that box. Alright. Um, so this is how you choose your slide theme and your layout. Okay, depending on the purpose of that slide, your layout will change. Okay. Now let's look at something a little more basic that I'm sure you guys are already familiar with. Okay, when you choose a theme, okay, certain fonts and sizes are preset. Okay, even the colors are preset like this. Okay, what you can do is, of course, you can change your fonts. Okay, you have a wide variety of fonts that you can choose from. Okay, you can choose the size, how big or small you want it. Okay, you can of course make it bold or in italics. Okay, you can add underlines and you can have a shadow effect. Okay, you can also create a strike through effect. Okay, now if you look at this one, it's called character spacing, which means how far away your letters are. Okay, so if you want them very close together or slightly close together, you want them normal or you want them far apart. Okay, you can also click on more spacing and customize. Okay, now look at this. This is my text. I'm going to bring it back to normal so you can, right. Okay, if I click on this button, okay, which is a change case option, okay, I can just instantly toggle the cases of these words that are on my screen. So if I want a sentence case, which means the first letter will be capitalized, or if I want everything in lowercase or uppercase, okay, I can choose to have each word capitalized, or I can simply toggle the case like this. All right. Next, what I can do is highlight the text over here. Okay, so I get to choose the color I want to use to highlight my text. All right, and of course I can change the colors. Right, now if I don't like the colors that the theme has provided me, okay, I can pick from basic standardized colors here, or I can go to more colors and I can slide it around and choose a color that I want to choose. If you look at the new versus the current, you'll see how it changes when I move this little cursor around like this. Right? Or I can go to the standard and I can choose from these little colorful boxes. Suppose I want this color. Okay? And I click on OK and my text changes to that color. Right? Now if I want to change the size of the text, I can either go from here like I showed you, or I can just hit this button and it increases. Okay, or if I hit this one, it goes down. Alright, and finally if I click this one, okay, everything goes back to normal. Alright, it goes back to the basic formatting that the theme had provided me at the beginning. Alright, any questions over here?
No, ma'am, all good till here.
Awesome. Um, do you want me to go back over something that I've done so far? No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will take that. Right. So that was for our text and the basic formatting. Okay. Now let's look at the arrangement of the text per se. Okay. Um, suppose I have typed out stuff like this, and then I have a second line here, and then I have another line here. Now, what I want to do is I want to make these bullet points. So I will go to this place here, it says bullets, and I can choose the kind of bullets that I want. Okay, suppose I want this one, right? And now I have bullets, but I don't like the color. So I go back and I click on bullets and numbering, and Over here, I can choose the color. Suppose I want a red colored bullet. Okay, and once I hit OK, my bullets have changed colors, right? Sorry. But suppose I don't want bullets, I want numbers. Okay, it's a list and I want to number the items in a particular order. So I can go to numbering and choose. 1 second. Okay. Um, so this is giving me the basic 1, 2, 3 numbering. Alright, and if I add more, it will keep adding numbers like this. But suppose I don't want 1, 2, 3. I want ABC in this format. I can get that also. Okay. Now suppose I want a sub point. Okay, so under this point I want to add another point. Okay, I will click enter and I hit tab. Okay, so it will change the level of my list. Alternatively, once I've hit enter, I can click this button. Okay, it's the list level button and it will increase it for me like this, or it will decrease it for me. Okay. Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, suppose these are paragraphs and I don't want the bullets and numbering. I can just click on the button like this and the list will disappear. Okay. And suppose I want to now have these paragraphs or sentences in the center of my slide. Okay. So I go to these 4 buttons which will give me my alignments. Okay, so I can get a central alignment like this where everything's in the middle of the box, or I can get a right alignment where everything moves to the right, or I can click on justify. Okay, so suppose these lines were reaching the end of the box, okay, then they would all have a uniform margin. Okay, now suppose I have a lot of information and I want to divide it into 2 columns or more columns. I can do this also. I can choose the number of columns 1, 2, 3, or I can manually add the number of columns that I want to have. Alright. I can also choose the direction of the text. Okay, currently it's in the normal reading direction from left to right horizontally. I can choose to rotate it like this. Right, so I can have it vertical, I can have it crossways, however I want. And if I want everything in the middle of my box, I can also do this, or I can put it at the bottom of my box by clicking on this. So the align text option will help you decide in which part of the box you want your text. Okay, right now I want it in the middle and I want it centralized. Okay, now look, my cursor was over here at this word, therefore only this word has changed positions, right? But now I want all of them, so I can either select them like this and put them like that, or I can just select this box like this and change the alignments for the whole box. So if there's only a couple of lines that you want to change alignment for, you can manually select them like this. Or if you want the whole box, you can just click on the box and move it around. Okay. Any questions over here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. Now, what I have here is a list, okay? 3 lines or paragraphs, whatever you consider them. But I want to convert them into a smart art. I want to create a graphic. So I click on convert to smart art, and then I can choose how I want them appearing. Okay, if I want it to be a list, I have so many list options. Okay, they will all look different like this. Okay, depending on the purpose, depending on what information I want to share. I can also go to more options, and I have so many. Okay, how I want my material to appear. So you get to choose. So I will take this one. Click OK. Alright. Now see, this is limiting how my material appears. Okay. So this is currently not being accepted. But I do want to add stuff. So I know that this format will not work for me. So I will choose a better format that will actually work out. Right? Like this. Now that I've chosen what my graphic will look like, I can change the color like this. Okay, suppose I want it to look like this, or like this, or if I want a multicolored option. I can also choose the effect like this. Okay, so many options are provided to me for what my material will look like. Alright, I can also individually change the color. Now I have selected this box. I go back to home and I come here to shape fill. Okay, and I can change the color. Okay, so manually is possible, or you can go to one of the presets that are available. Alright, any questions here?
Ma'am, that video resume we have to insert in the form of that PowerPoint or like normal?
It's an MP4 file, not a PowerPoint.
No, ma'am. I'm asking that video resume when we are gonna make, then we have to present it in the PPT format or like a normal MP4 format.
In the sense how you will upload it to the assignment
Yes, ma'am.
as an MP4 file.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, that wasn't that part of the instructions already?
No, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, no, please check. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned that it has to be uploaded as an MP4.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. But why are we talking about that right now?
Ma'am, actually, I had a doubt about it because suddenly it's you started teaching that Microsoft GPT and Word now, so we were discussing.
All right, but you need this PPT and Word for the rest of your practical stuff, the assignments and all that coming.
Okay.
It'll also be part of your exam, so you guys had better be prepared for that.
Okay, ma'am.
Alright, so going ahead, okay, so this is how I have converted the text that I have written into a graphic, and I can adjust its appearance manually or by choosing a preset. Okay, alternatively, if I don't want to use it as a sorry, I don't want to use it in this form, okay, I can go back to having it as text. All right, but I want to choose what the text box itself looks like. So I can go to this box called Quick Styles where there are presets available, and I can choose what my text box will look like this. Okay, you have multiple options and you can choose how you want it to appear. All right, you can also manually choose, like suppose I want this color for my box, okay, and I want the outline to be say green color, but I want a thicker outline. So I go back to shape outline, I go to weight, and I can choose how thick I want the outline to be. Okay, and I can go back and change my text color so that it looks like this for me. Right, so the option to manually change everything is there, but things are made easier by the presets that are provided. I can also make it look different by adding all these effects. Okay, there are shadow effects, there are reflection effects like this. All right, you can add these glow effects if you want, or you can soften the edges like this, or you can change what the box itself looks like, you know, however. But I'm someone who likes to keep it simple. So you can rotate your text box like this however you want. Okay, it depends on your aesthetic, sometimes depends on the purpose of your um, slide also. Okay, but I like to keep it simple. Okay, so I don't want any effect. Okay, any questions over here so far?
No, ma'am.
Guys, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now I'm not happy with any of this. I want the old simple start. So I just click on reset and everything goes back to normal. But this is what I have manually done, right? So this will not go back to normal. I have to undo it and make it look normal again, like this. Okay. Now we have looked at the text. Now, suppose I don't want to add text, but I want to add other stuff onto my slide. So this is what the original slide looked like. So if you look here in the middle of your screen, there are all these options about what I can add on the slide material. Okay, so if you hover your cursor over each of these, it tells you what they are. So you can either insert a table or insert a chart, which is like graphs and stuff, or you can insert graphics like I already showed you. Okay, you can also include 3D models. This will require an internet connection. Okay, Then what you can do is insert icons or videos or pictures from the internet where you can sort of search for them through the PowerPoint app and then download and add it, or you can add pictures from ones that are already existing in your system. Okay, so let's look at how we can add and edit tables. So let's click on insert table from here, and it will take us to this little box, and we can choose how many columns and rows we want. So like this, right? Alternatively, I can click on the insert tab, and the same things that I got over here on the slide itself I can find over here, right? So we can add a table, and this is the fun part here. You just have to glide your cursor and it will add the numbers of rows and columns that you want. So now I want a 4x4 table. Okay, once you've created the basic table, you can choose its appearance like this. Okay, you have like several options to choose from. Let's say I want to go with this one. Okay, so now my table looks like this, but I want to have borders that are a little more prominent. So I go to the borders option and I can choose what kind of borders I want. So now I want all borders, okay, but I'm not happy with the border color. I want it to be a different color altogether. So let's say I want it to be white. So I go here to the pen color, I choose white, and it will manually allow me to change the colors of the borders like this. Do you get it? I can also increase the thickness of the borders and add like this. Okay, I can do this manually. Okay, any questions here?
No.
Okay. You can again, of course, choose how your your table looks like by manually adjusting. So right now the cursor is on this box, so this box is changing, but suppose I want to adjust the entire column or maybe the entire table, I can do that. Okay, so basically I'm clicking on the whole table and adjusting what it looks like this. Right, I can individually change the color of each box by making the cursor be in that box. Okay, I can change an entire column by selecting that column or that row. Okay, or I can choose the entire table altogether, right, like this. Okay, so that's how you adjust your table. And then you can, when you go back home, you can choose the font and the adjustment of the text within the table from this box again, right? So that is tables. Now I've deleted it because I don't want a table, I want something else. So I can either go back to insert or I can choose from on the slide itself. Okay, so if suppose I'm doing some kind of research study and I've got a lot of facts and figures, okay, and I want to represent them graphically, I have this wonderful option to add charts like this. So basically graphs. Okay, you can have pie charts, you can have a basic graph thing. Okay, you can show area like this, you can have bar graphs. Okay, you can have a histogram or this kind of sunburst pattern, something I never managed to learn in life. Okay, or whatever style you want, essentially. Okay, um, so I mean, if you've got data and you want to add it here, you can do that. Right now I don't have any data to add, so I will let it be. Okay, um, we've seen how we can convert existing text into a smart art or a graphic. Okay, but over here we can start from scratch. Okay, and then manually add. So if I want to add material to my graphic, I can either click on this side panel and type it out, or I can individually click on each part of the graphic and type it there. Personally, I find it much easier to handle it from here. Okay, and over here also I can change the levels, and I can select all of this and I can choose the font details, right? That's how it goes. So that's for inserting tables and graphics from here itself. Okay, you also have this option to look for 3D models online. Okay, so for this you need a good enough um, internet connection, and you have a variety of models to choose from. Okay, so suppose I want to do something like a space. Okay, I can just click on the option and see what they have available to me. Okay, or alternatively I can just click over here, type out what I want, and whatever they've got I can choose and insert. Okay, um, once it inserts, right, you can actually move it around and you can it's literally a 3D model. Okay, so you can turn it, click on this and turn it around any which way you want to turn it. Any questions here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Great. Again, inserting these kinds of things depends on the purpose of your slides. Okay, unfortunately I don't really get a chance to do something like this, but I like to play around with. It's like a toy for grown-up people. Okay, so there we go, and you have the option to reset. Okay, and you can also reset the size, and you can also choose how it looks like um, in the beginning before you start moving it around like this. Okay, um, so that's that. If you want to insert a video, okay, it will take you to this option, okay, where you can if you've got a video already in your system, you can attach it directly from here. Okay, alternatively go to the insert tab, click on video, and you get this option to choose online videos. Okay, and over here you enter the web link to the video and you get to um, insert it from, so you don't need to download the video, have it on your system and then insert it. Okay, these days you have this option to just directly add the link and it will stream for you online. The same goes for images. Okay, if you want to add an image, you can either go from here, which will take you to your hard drive and you choose from there, or you can look for pictures online. Okay, or what you can do is select copy an image from the internet and paste it over here. Okay, so you can add it to your clipboard and then paste the image over here. Let me just show you. Give me a second. Let me find a picture from the internet. There we go. Okay, I have gone online, copied a picture, and what I do is I can do Control and it gets placed. Okay, or I can right click inside the box, and under paste options I will look for paste picture, and it will automatically adjust the size of the picture to fit my slide, right? I can of course adjust the size. Okay, make it bigger, smaller, move it around. So right now I want this picture on the side. Okay, and that's, I've decided there. I don't want to make it slightly bigger, so this is what I have. Okay, but I want to make the picture look a little different. So once I have double clicked the picture like this, I get all these lovely options to play around with. Okay, so I can correct the image using presets like this. So I can adjust brightness and contrast. See, look at the picture and see how these presets make it look different. So I want to have this preset, which is 20% brightness and 20% contrast, and now my picture is looking like this, and I'm happy with it. Okay, I can also change the colors. There are presets to recolor also. If I want to increase the saturation of the colors or decrease them, okay, I can change the tone, make it warmer or cooler also. That also works. Or I can just recolor it in a fancy manner like this. Okay, so this is a black and white picture, so the changing of the color is not really um, visible here. Let me find something of color for you. Just give me a second. Okay, I found it. So I'm adding this picture here. Okay, adjusting the size, and I can again change its aspects like this. Okay, so I feel that this looks good enough, or this looks good enough, so let's go with this. And now you can adjust the color, how much color you want to add. This looks very unnatural. Okay, this also, so this normal is fine for me, but I can slightly increase the warmth. Okay, so this is what I feel the picture looks best as. Now I want to play around further. I can add artistic effects to the picture like this. Okay, so I have all these options to choose from, whatever I like or don't like. Okay, now from here I can add borders to the picture. Okay, if you want borders to your picture, you have a great many options to choose from. I like this one, I'm going with this one. Okay, and of course you can manually change the colors and details of the borders like this, how thick you want it, what color you want it. You can also add picture effects, same way that we did with the object effects. Okay, um, so something like this. Okay, make it look cool. Okay, any questions so far?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
Ma'am, many of the times when I used to insert a video, it didn't show the video. So, second alternative for it, what is the alternative for it? And you
First,
said that link one, can you explain it again?
sure, sure. Um, Insert the video option, okay, and go to online videos, right? Now suppose you have a YouTube link that you want to add. You add the entire YouTube link here and click on insert. Till you get it? Kajol?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes the people who have uploaded the videos, they have privacy settings which will prevent that video from being used in PowerPoint slides or something like that. So those videos you cannot add. Okay, so if there are privacy issues like this, the video will not show up. Otherwise it technically shows up. Okay.
Ma'am, can
um
you show the 3D model once again?
yeah. Okay. Alternatively, what you can do is to download an MP4 file of the video and then insert the MP4 file. It will make your overall presentation heavy. Okay, as in the MB size will increase, but that's like a sure shot way of making sure the video is there. And you can also play that video offline. Okay, if you insert via a link like this, then you need internet connection to play the video while you are showing the slide. Okay, but if you download it and insert an MP4 file, then it's, even if you don't have internet connection, the video will play for you. Okay, so let's go back to looking at 3D models. Okay, again you have the option of picking up a 3D model from your device or going online. Since I have nothing on my device, I'm going online. Okay, um, let's look at animals now. Okay, we have all these cute options, okay, to choose from. Let's go with this guy and insert. Let me get this picture out of the way. Okay, that's your 3D model. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Any other questions before I go ahead? Okay, I will take that as a no and delete the poor guy. Reset the slide, see it came back to normal. Okay, going back to insert options. Okay, um, next I want to add a word art to my document. I can choose these options. Okay, unfortunately word art has become very boring these days. I remember when I was a kid and word art was fairly new, we had really amazing um, choices for word arts. Now they're pretty basic and you can customize them to an extent, but they're not as fun as they used to be, personally I feel. Okay. So now I have inserted word art. Okay, and again I can choose from a preset what I want my word art to look like. Okay, so you have all these varieties to choose from. Okay, let's go with this one or this one. So you can of course customize your shape, color, the outline of it, the weight of the outline, however you want it. You can of course edit the word art itself. You can, and of course you can change the color and the border. The text border also can be changed like this. Okay, again, change the weight to make it more prominent. Alright, and you can also add effects to your text. Okay, you can transform it like this. So many versions for you to choose. Okay, and then you can just type whatever word art will look like. Any questions about word art? Guys, any questions about word art?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead. Okay. You have also for inserting several uh, technical format aspects. Okay, so when you are presenting official um, reports or stuff like that, you will be sometimes required to add a header and footer. Okay, there are limited options like this, so you can add the date and the time and choose its appearance. You can add slide numbers and you can add footers. So suppose I want my name on the footer. Okay, so it will appear like this, right? Any questions about headers and footers? I will take that as no. Okay, now if you are presenting some scientific stuff, they also have a few preset equations that you can insert. Okay, or sorry, you can also manually insert an equation over here. Okay, fortunately I don't require it, so I haven't really explored, but I guess you can just um, add your equations like this and find, like, usually if you are presenting at a scientific um, for a scientific audience and you need to show your equations and stuff, you have, this is all new. Okay, earlier this was not there, but now people realize how important it is to have these options. Okay, so basically you can add just about anything to your slides. Okay, you have your technical aspects like page numbers and footers and headers. You also have options to add dates and times, especially when people need to print your slides as notes. You know, in the print option, you get these slides as notes options, handouts. So for that, adding dates, times, and numbers are very, very important. And you can also add graphics to visually aid your text material. Okay, or just make it a little more aesthetically appealing. Alright. So we've looked at the basic stuff, formatting of text, inserting various things into the slides and formatting them. We've also looked at design and how we can change the appearance of the slides itself. Okay. Sorry. Next we'll be moving to adding slide transitions as well as animating the material on your slide. Okay. Just give me a second. So now suppose I have got all this material on my slide. I have decided to add bullets. Okay, so I want bullets for everything. I want these ones. But for these three, I want to change. I'm sorry.
You haven't shared your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me just show it. Wow, how did that happen? Okay, there we go. So I've added material to my slides and I'm adding bullets, changing the appearance. Okay, and I've decided that I'm cool with this, and now I want to uh, add a few effects to make the presentation easier. Okay, so I go to transitions. So remember, there are two things on in PowerPoints here. You have transitions and you have animations. Okay, the difference between these two is that the transition is for the slide itself, the whole slide. Okay, and animations are for individual aspects on the slide. So you have a lot of options about how you want to create your how you want the material to appear on the screen. So for my heading, okay, I want to use this option, and this is what it will look like. Then for the main text, I want to add a fade option. Okay, this is what I usually do for our sessions, but today let's try this one, and then it shows you how these things will appear on the screen. Now, if you have noticed, the subpoints under style appeared along with style, but then I want them to appear one by one, right? These 3 points. So what I do is I go to this option here, animation pane, okay, and then it shows me that this box is highlighted, so I get to choose the effect. So I click here and I go to effect options, and then I go to text animation and I choose by second level paragraph. So now those 3 points will appear separately on their own. If I had sub points under these also, I would choose appear by third level paragraph. Okay, but now look at this. Currently this is appearing separately and this is appearing separately. I want them to appear together, so I go back to this. Okay, right now it says start on click, so unless I click on the slide, okay, what do you say, the text will not appear on screen, but I want it to appear automatically with the heading, so I do this. Okay, and when I go to slideshow, okay, it will come like this. Do you see? Okay, over there then the individual options will not be available. Okay, it will appear along with this, but I don't want that. I want it to appear separately. Okay, I can choose so many different ways in which the material will arrive. Okay, or something like this. Okay, whatever I feel happy and comfortable with, I'm okay with this for now, so I stick to this. Okay, so you can do the same thing for every object that is on your screen. Suppose you have the image also. Okay, you can choose how and when the image also appears. So I've added the image here. Okay, I want the image to appear in this fashion. Okay, and I want it to appear with the text. Okay, so let's see how that happens. Okay, Alright. Any questions about the animations? Any questions about animations, guys?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. So now I will take you to transitions, which is of the slide by itself. Okay, how this slide as a whole will appear onto my screen. So suppose I want to do like this. So this is how the slide will appear, and after the slide has appeared, then the material will appear. So let's look at it like this, and then I click, and then my material starts to. Alright, so that's that for creating your presentation. So you can add new slides as per your requirement. Keep adding. You can also right click on a slide and say new slide. Now suppose I want the second slide to actually be the first, I can just click and drag it like this. Suppose I want two of these slides, I can right click and say duplicate slide, so I get exact two of them like this. Okay, and that's what I know of slideshows. Do you have any questions, or do you want me to show you something else? There are a lot of other features, okay, that you have options to record and hide a particular slide that you don't want appearing during the presentation, but you want for reference or something. However, okay, in fact, when you go to animations, you can choose things like triggers how you want. So I would like it to be on the click of my mouse, so I have options like this, okay, or um, I can go here to duration and select the timing, and it will automatically play for me. Alright, yeah, so that's about it for creating a pretty decent slideshow. You have, of course, spell checks, dictionary meanings, and all that, just to make sure your spellings and everything are correct. Okay, we've done this. This would help you just draw stuff onto your slide if you want to hand create something, um, mostly like stuff. Okay, not normally used. This is also helpful for math equations, or if you want to, like, if you're showing something and you want to immediately highlight stuff, you can do that. The more basic stuff is here on the insert options. Okay. Oh, the text box. Now, currently on my slide I have this, but I want to add an additional text box. I click on text box, and the text box appears, and then I adjust its size. Okay, once I start typing, I can make it bigger to fit. So if I have done this, made it big, it will also automatically adjust. And as with the other text box, I can adjust its appearance. For PowerPoint, any questions of how to create the PowerPoint so far? I will take that as a no. So now let's go to the final steps. Once I've created this PowerPoint and I'm happy with it, I click on File and I will click on Save. You can of course do Control S if it's already saved somewhere. Okay, but you click on Save, and as with everything, it gives you the option of where you want to save it. So you browse your PC, your system, and you choose a file that you want to save it in. Okay, now this will just save your presentation as a presentation. But suppose you want to save the presentation, say, as a PDF or some other file format. You click on File and you click on Save As. Okay, you choose the folder, suppose this. Okay, and over here you get the option of what kind of file you want to save it as. So you can save it as various presentation formats. It is recommended that when you are going to use the presentation yourself, you save it as it is. But if you have to share it with somebody and you don't know what system they are using, if they are upgraded to the latest Windows or if they're still using an older system, then the safe thing to do is to click on PowerPoint 97 to 2003. So this is the compatible version, which means that the file can be opened on any system, no matter how old it is, starting from 1997 to 2003. Okay, so this means that even the oldest system will be able to open your document. Okay, but the problem there is that all these modern features that we have added, okay, like your transitions, your the slide design and stuff, that may get messed up because the older system cannot uh, handle or does not have uh, the required um, what do you call it, the feature to support your modern slide designs and transitions and all those things. So when you click on 97 2003, okay, it will automatically uh, convert the slide design and format and everything to a compatible version, which means your fonts and all that will get changed, but the material and everything will remain the same. So the thing is, you have to go back and see what has changed, and sometimes you need to readjust. Okay, or even before you start, okay, you can just first you click save as and save, and then you can add all the designs and everything so that you can be sure that these things are available. Okay, but now I want to save this as a PDF, so I click PDF. Okay, I can choose how heavy. Sorry guys, we lost power. Did you see how I saved the presentation as a PDF? Guys,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so you saw that, right? So then it opens as a PDF. Let me just show you how. I'll stop the PowerPoint screen and show you the PDF screen here. Okay, so it got saved as a PDF. So of course in a PDF you will not see the transitions and effects, but any background colors and all that you've added will be visible. Okay, so that's how for presentations, how to create and how to save them. Do you have any questions here? Okay. So next we have to look at Microsoft Word, but I don't think my mobile data can sustain another hour. So what we'll do is we'll stop the class here for now, and we'll meet again at 11:35. I will let you know if the power is back and I can support Microsoft Teams again, or we will switch it to another time. Okay, and before I go, just a heads up, Sarojini ma'am has taken the 8:20 slot tomorrow. I have cancelled my class. I will be taking my class instead on Tuesday in Sarojini ma'am's slot at 12:40. Okay, so don't get confused, tomorrow or on Tuesday. So we'll stop here for now, and hopefully I will see you at 11:35. All right, thank you guys for coming in, and enjoy your 1 hour break.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye guys, thank you.
Bye, ma'am.